So hello. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and also support my small business at latricelimited.com. So I'm kind of curious, why are people mad at Lizzo? What's going on? First, before we even can get into that, let's hear her play this beautiful piece right here.
And they're going to show you everything. Oh my goodness.
The U.S. premiere of this piece happened in the Coolidge Auditorium across the street, and Ron Paul played it. And this is the flute that Ron.
I can play it or no?
Yes.
Oh, my lipstick doesn't. Right? That's what I want to know. Oh, we'll see. This was made in when? 15 what? 85. How do you play Uchi Wally Wally on this?
So as you guys saw, okay, she went to like the Library of Congress and she was able to play this 200-year-old crystal flute. I'm like, yo, okay, what? I have a tweet here from the Library of Congress and it says, hearing Lizzo play some of the library's priceless antique instruments on Monday was such a gift, and we were honored and happy to help her share that gift with the concert audience Tuesday night. Here are some more behind the scene footage, and this is the video that I played. When I heard it, now mind you, I am not a huge Lizzo fan. I don't listen to her music really at all. I really don't listen to a lot of mainstream people's music anyways. I'm just that kind of person, you know. I listen on occasion, but not really. But having heard this one, I didn't even know there was a 200-year-old flute, and that flute could even be made in crystal. I've never seen flutes made in crystal. It's always been metal or it's been wood. And hearing that, I'm like, yo, that was amazing. She sounded so beautiful when she was playing it, and I was like, wow, what's the problem? You gave awareness and you gave a lot of information that other people didn't even know. Most people never even knew this thing existed, you know. And me myself, being a flute player myself, of course, I've been playing for 16 years now. I love it. What's the problem? I ran across a tweet that pretty much sums up a lot of it. Okay. So it says, Lizzo plays a flute and one day later, everyone's an expert on flutes. They should keep handing her instruments until we accidentally bring music education back. Because in schools, from what I'm understanding, they are taking out a lot of these quote unquote electives. And they're like saying, oh, well, that's not really necessary. You don't really need art. You don't really need music, just math and science, and don't be versed in anything else. All you have to do is do this and that's it. You know, so I like that she's being able to share, you know, her passion to other people and give other people inspiration. Like, wow, oh my goodness, I could learn to play this. Not saying that you have to go to like Juilliard or anything like that, but just being able to embrace yourself in the arts. And something about this tweet that I also really did enjoy that they put in here is the fact that everyone's an expert, you know, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. Okay. But yeah, I mean, you got everyone who thinks like, oh, well, I know the maintenance and the mechanics on the flute, etc., etc., etc. You know, this is what you should be doing with your flute. And okay, then tell me what's wrong with mine. Please tell me, just by looking at it, please tell me what's wrong with mine, because mine has an issue right now. Okay. And here, look at it. Tell me what kind of flute this is as well. Please tell me. Name different little things about this, because I know a couple things about it. Okay. So please name certain things about it to me, please. Okay. So I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything. And if you can't tell me about just a basic flute, what brand is it? You know what I mean? If you can't tell me something about a basic flute, How in the heck are you going to know about a 200-year-old crystal flute? Come on, get out of here, y'all. But I do want to go into why people are mad. One, you have people who already don't like Lizzo. Okay. So it's one of those things like, oh man, your man cheat on you. Yeah, I knew he was a smoker, girl. I knew them smokers can't be trusted. They ain't got nothing to do with anything. You you don't like her because she's playing an instrument. You just didn't like her already. You know what I mean? So now you're gonna make up little excuses like, oh well, it's the maintenance of the instrument. You didn't like her already. Okay, so people didn't like her. A lot of the big things about it, no pun intended, are the fact that, I mean, it is that one, she is obese. Okay, people are mad about that. I don't know why you're mad about it. It's not your body. It's not your health. Don't get what your problem is, because most of the people that are doing that are going to McDonald's and having triple cheeseburgers. Y'all going to KFC, y'all one of the mugs that said Chick-fil-A, and y'all got 20 cars in the line. Y'all one of those people, but then y'all gonna get mad at her, which is absolutely insane to me. You know what I mean? Oh, but I'm not that big, but you're still not healthy, boo. Okay, so I don't understand what the big problem is. If she's okay with being her size, who cares? You know, get over it. Find something else to complain about. Okay, how about read a book or something? You know, and then another thing, you have a huge thing. Racism is a huge thing. It is because she's black too. Oh, you got a black chick playing this. Oh no, because only white people could play flutes, because that's, you know, apparently that's what it is. Okay, all right. I'm just like this. She's a talented individual. Not sure what the problem is. I'm very happy though that she is inspiring, you know, and it shows more people that yes, music education is very important. Me, for example, I started playing the flute since fourth grade, and it's, you know, a huge reason why they do it is just so your body could be able to handle the difficulties of playing a band instrument. Okay, I can actually bring up a time when I first was able to even play an instrument. Okay, and we went into a gymnasium and whatnot, and then they had like different tables and sections and whatnot and stations. I remember I was with my mom and I was nervous, and I'm like, oh my goodness, because once you pick it, you pick it. Okay, there ain't gonna be no hopping around. So I was like, okay, let me go look, let me look. And then I was looking around the room, and then I heard this beautiful sound. I go over to the table that happened to have a flute on there, and then I heard the lady playing it, and I was in awe. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, mommy, I want that one. And then we did this whole program where you could rent out your flute and whatnot. And until my mom actually bought me this one, which actually was a used one that I got. But yeah, I mean, you know, it just helps to build character. You know, it also helps you to just be imaginative. What do you want to do? You know, you just pursue the arts. It's just a wonderful, beautiful thing that people are able to do. That also led me to join marching band in high school, and I even went in college and I did summer band for 1 year. And it was really freaking cool. You know, I remember when I was in high school and I was doing marching band, I actually got to play some of the auxiliary instruments. You know, I was doing the bass drum, I was doing the wind chimes, and I was being all extra with it because I had this percussion instructor. His name was something Massimo, but we always called him Choppy. All right, and it was so freaking cool how, you know, he was like, you know, and when I was playing the wind chimes, I'm like, okay, and then he was like, no, you gotta like really put your heart, put your soul into this, and don't just, you know, swipe your hands. He said use both hands and just gently go onto them until you reach the end. And it was such a beautiful sound. Okay, it was such a lovely sound that went with doing it. I was playing a gong, all that kind of stuff. And then the next year I was like, okay, well, I want to do something different. And then I picked up the marimba. I had a piano in my house, so that's how I was learning how to do it. And I was able to pick up the marimba, and it was so amazing, you know. And then just being able to have the different experiences with all this, the awareness of, hey, if you guys want to play it, it's here, you know. And it was just such a beautiful thing. So I'm just like this, how can you guys leave it to, you know, you got your, you know, people who don't like obese people, you got your people who don't like overweight people, you got your people who don't like black people. Leave it to people to make something beautiful bad. You know what I mean? Because that's essentially what's happening. I even got to play the recorder. We had like this kind of, forgot the name of it, but it was like a Renaissance night that we had. It went on for like 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 nights in our school. And I got to play the alto flute, alto recorder. They said it was the same fingerings, but it wasn't. We had to learn an entirely new, completely different instrument. All right. But it was really, really cool how we were able to do that, get the sound coming and everything with it. But here are some of the things, okay? Like how I was saying with the tweet. It was saying like, oh, everyone's an expert nowadays, da 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 da. So here's your expert, okay? It says, it's not that she played the flute. It's the fact that it's a historical artifact. It has no business being in the hands of anyone except someone trained in artifact preservation. So, oh, it's because it's an artifact, da 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 da. Well, one, it's an instrument. Instruments are made to be played. No point in building a beautiful marimba, a beautiful $10,000 piano, and no one gets to play it and it collects dust. That's just dumb. It just makes no sense to have something like that. So I'm very happy that she played it. Let other people know, like, yo, enjoy this. But yeah, so she's over here complaining. Well, it's a historical artifact. Not everyone's hand is supposed to be on it. And someone says, oh no, the Library of Congress forgot to ask you on Twitter if she was okay with lending Lizzo a flute. What an insult on the founding father who owned 100 slaves. Yeah. So, I mean, who are you? You know what I mean? And then there's another one. It says, yes, famed instrument preservation expert who I'm sure has taken years of training on crystal flute preservation. How dare the Library of Congress experts think they know best? And it's like, yeah, I mean, these people are experts in what they do. They're experts in their job. And you're going to tell them that they shouldn't allow her, because you already don't like her for whatever your reasons are, that they should not allow her to use this flute. They're experts and they're allowing her to do it. So obviously they think that she's okay. She's also classically trained. I think that aids in it as well. You know what I mean? So she's an experienced flutist or flautist as well. So I guess I'm not understanding. So this has nothing to do with the flute. It has everything to do with you. That's what it is. Play an instrument. That's a whole nother language that you have to learn. And that's not even being promoted as heavily as it really should be promoted, So I really like the fact that she did this, one for herself, because obviously you could tell, I mean, just looking at the drawing on her face, she's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And excuse me, in the end of the video, if you hear a scream, that was me. Okay. That was my bad. I forgot I was recording, and I was just overwhelmed with joy because it was so beautiful, the song that she was playing, and that she was getting into it. This is what I'm talking about. It actually aids in people's desire to want to do this. And hey, if you want to do it just for a hobby or possibly make some money, cool, whatever the case may be. But there's always this extra emphasis on sports, all this music. I mean, yeah, I guess we could deal with y'all, but not really. So I really like that they're doing this. And the fact that people, you're just mad because a black person is getting any kind of attention. You didn't even know this thing existed. And now you're mad. Oh, well, I'm an expert. No, you're not. You're not an expert, boo. Don't pretend to be one. Just enjoy the music or don't watch. I mean, that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. If you don't like her, don't watch her then. Okay. If you're that mad that she's playing a flute that you didn't even know existed, I mean, come on, get over yourself. But those are my thoughts and opinions. And until then.